Okay, hello and welcome to another episode of Noble. And today we are coming live from Dublin. We want to talk hip hop, we want to talk music, we want to talk art in general. And in the show, I have this great guy, Jogi the Jugs. Yeah, talk to these people fast. Tell
Drum
us.
rolls.
Yeah. So, how are you, man? How are you? Where are we?
I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad, bro. How are you?
I'm good. It's rainy in
Hmm.
Nairobi, but I hope it will stop soon. So let's talk about music. Let's dive deep into hip hop and all that. So first of all, just tell us who you are. Like, what do you do? What are you up to right now? You know, you can bring music into it as well. I know you do so many other things.
Well, my government name is David Weather. My
Yeah.
artistic name is Jogi Warrior.
Hmm.
So I think I wear different hats depending on the situation. So mostly I'll say that I'm an artist. So being an artist, I hold me and stuff. I write, which is one of my favorite things to do.
Hmm.
So I write scripts, I write short films, I
Yeah.
write music, I write plays, I act. So I act, it could be either theater or television.
Hmm.
I I perform. Majorly, I'm a performer.
Yeah.
So I can perform poetry,
Hmm.
I can perform music,
Yeah.
uh, I can rap.
My
Yeah,
favorite. My favorite.
yeah.
Yeah, my favorite version of you is actually the rap beat, but I want us to go back to Manyatta is Manhattan.
Oh
There
yeah.
was that thing about you and Manyatta. Manyatta is Manhattan. So it was almost like Flosine Mawano, this guy that Kenha is always
Oh yeah.
chasing all over. His name
Uh,
is all
uh,
over. So there's a time I was in Kisumu and then I saw Manyatta is Manhattan. That's when I was like, yo, this guy is real. Like, so tell us about Manyatta is Manhattan. What was happening in Manyatta?
uh, well, Manhattan is Manhattan is just something that cropped up back then. I used to say Manhattan in
Yeah,
Kisumu.
Manyatta, yes.
So, like myself, I've lived in different sections, different areas.
Mm,
So whenever I go to a place, I try to blend myself into it.
mm-hmm,
So by then, that was my first time me kwenda kuishi Kisumu.
mm,
So it was a very different experience,
mm-hmm.
and I liked the environment. It was
Yeah.
so lively to me.
Mm-hmm.
And like mostly, Manyata is in Kondele,
Yes.
and everybody who knows Kondele is usually painted in some different shade. You see,
Yes.
like the violent people and Tebe and all those kind of stuff. But the moment if you stay there,
Yeah.
you get to experience a different side to it. So I thought my responsibility as an artist too was to
Mm-hmm.
try to now portray it
Yeah.
in a different light
Mm-hmm.
and try to inculcate some humor in it,
Mm.
So
Yeah.
not to be that serious,
Yeah.
but just to put it out there. So I was trying like, but then like that was my hashtag, Manhattan is Manhattan, everywhere in all my socials, and I even tried to do some bit of vandalism. That's
Yeah.
why you saw that graffiti somewhere in
Yeah.
Kondele,
Yes. Yeah.
But I did go to that extent of flossing, you see, to
Yeah.
just like I think it's just two. Yeah.
Okay.
That was
So
back then. So
yeah.
around I started back in around 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 there. So that was I was like heavily
Yeah.
on it. Yeah,
Mm.
I even did a documentary on it.
On Manyatta is Manhattan,
Yeah,
right?
back then.
So this was you as an artist trying to
Yes.
reframe the face of a place. Let's call it hood that is painted with different shades. That is, yeah, and I think that was a very very noble thing. Like P Diddy, I don't want to use P Diddy grossly here because now his name is all over the social media spaces for very wrong reasons. I've known you by so many names. It started with Dawe Dawe, Weda Weda. Then now we have we're having Jogi Woyo. Why do you keep evolving?
Mm-hmm.
What inspires the evolution? Because I started knowing you as actually Dawe Dawe. What inspires the evolution of your names? Because first of all, I knew you as Dawe Dawe. Then eventually, I saw Weda Weda, and
Yeah.
I knew you're being creative about it. Then again, now Jogi Woyo, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning that actually Weda is your name. From your music, I hear you mentioning Weda, and then probably that's where Dawe came
Yes.
from to
Yes.
Weda,
Yes.
now to Jogi Woyo. What inspires your evolution of those names?
I think the name Dawe came back when I used to stay in Kibera. So there was this damsel that was hitting on. So I told her my name is Weda, but she didn't really catch the name. So the next day, she came looking for me. Alkanauliza, akwapi Dawe, akwapi Dawe Dawe. You know that. So it stuck. Like my friends now, like, oh, so they started calling me Dawe Dawe.
All right.
And when I checked the name, like it's like my name flipped. So
Yeah.
Weda flipped is Dawe. Like the current Sheng now, the way
Yeah.
they're flipping syllables.
Yeah.
So by then, so I changed it to Dawe. And again, my name is David Weda. So the
Weda. All
first two
right.
letters is Da. The first two letters of the other name is We.
Ah,
So
okay.
it kind of just, yeah, yeah, it kind of just mixed. So I thought, oh, well, this is brilliant. Let me just use this name.
All
So
right.
that's when I was using the name David David.
Uh,
Yeah.
Now, Idinadi,
So from there,
all right?
uh-huh.
Yes, I want to talk about the Idinadi, the album, because I used to see you on TikTok doing this, and I
Mhm.
thought you just playing around. Like, there's a way you showcase your work playfully. I want to say playfully in a way, like make it be seen there, and somebody just gets very wowed.
Whimsical.
Yeah, somebody gets very wowed when finally they realize that these short clips you're actually singing to are actually real songs that you've done, and that is how I bumped into your album
Yeah.
Idinadi, and it is very deep. So I wanted to just talk briefly about that album. It's deep in the sense, in the cultural sense, that you bring somebody like Oguta Liebobo into the sounds into it. And as the previous conversation I was telling you, this was akin to listening to Jay-Z having Nina Simone in the track. Nina Simone sound like in the story of OJ when he tells that story about black niggers,
OJ.
house
Yeah.
niggers, and everything. So why would you go that deep? Because Liebobo is not an artist that everybody knows. This is way back. And if you can actually know Liebobo, either you are somebody who are musically curious or you are old. So what inspired Idinadi? Let's just talk about that album.
Well, it really just promoted because I think it's a collaboration between
Mm-hmm.
myself and my friends. Because everybody who was there, there are people who are like well known to me, like well, very very well acquainted to me. Kwame, Kwame, Kwame used to go by the name Logical Truth. So if there are people who are into like hip hop, kind of hip hop more the underground scene,
Yeah,
Logical used to go the airwaves, but he came and pulled out his tracks. He's my favorite rapper, I'll say so. They
yeah.
are very witty. So I was with Kwame. So Kwame made the beats. So I used to send him.
When I took time to listen to this, of course, there's a lot of traditional or cultural stuff that you brought into it, like the way of worship, the Luo chanting, and everything. But what stood out for me was how you could go way deep to bring the sound of Liebobo into it, which I said was akin to like when you listen to Jay Z's The Story of OJ, hear Nina Simone talking, like singing in the background or doing the chorus beat. So I just wanted to know like what basically inspired this album and like talk about it, the people you've worked with, just to make this hit album a success. Because for me, it's a hit album. Yeah.
So as I was saying, like this whole album, the curation of it just came from myself and the producer. The producer is called Kwame,
Yeah.
uh, known as Logical Truth.
Yeah.
So myself, I'm an ardent fan of vintage
Yeah.
Luo traditional music.
Yeah.
So as you had opined earlier that you are either old or you are curious musically.
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess I fall into that bracket of being curious.
Mm.
So that's the moment. Like even now, my playlist is heavily dominated by retro tracks.
Yeah.
So I used to listen to these tracks, and I would send him the
Mm.
tracks and ask him, "Can you sample this? Can you sample this? Can you sample this?" So he made the instrumentals himself. He sampled a lot of them.
Mm.
So the moment I came to Kisumu,
Yeah.
so we linked up.
Yeah.
Then we went to a studio. Yeah, went to a studio because this is how it happened.
Mm.
Uh, we just hired a studio time for like 2 hours just to
Yeah.
lay the vocals.
Mm.
Then he picked the vocals and we went and mastered them at his place. So I had Janabi in the track,
Mm-hmm.
Tija Janabi from Kisumu. There's a lady. Why do I keep forgetting her name? This is so bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's this
But
lady that Kelna
yeah,
Rose.
she's
Kelna
very nice.
Rose.
She has very dope vocals. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
very dope. So Janabi is the one who brought her in. You see, Janabi
Uh-huh.
is the one who brought her in.
Mm.
No, no.
Yeah.
Then I had Yoboyosh, who did something like a skit there.
Mm-hmm.
And who else? No, no, tulikuwa wachache kwa studio.
Yeah.
So we went, we did the vocals.
Mm-hmm.
It took like almost 90 minutes. We
Yeah.
were done. So Kwame went with the what? With the vocals and the recordings, and he did the mastering. So he
Yeah.
sent them over to me later on. That's when I uploaded it. But the whole premise of the album
Mm-hmm.
was just based on uh, trying to uh, merge, in as much as it's hip hop, but we are trying to Luonize it.
Yes.
You see,
Yes. Yeah.
I decided to heavily rap in Luo
Mm-hmm.
and give the elements that the Luo ndani. So you hear samples za Nyatiti, you
Yeah.
hear samples za Ogwanglaelo there, you hear Oguta Lebobo is there, you
Yes.
hear some Luo chants,
Mm-hmm.
some dodges, all of that just amalgamated to whatever
Yeah.
came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is one sound that I really like. Even the other album called Vicus was almost there. That's the same process.
Yeah.
And in Vicus, it was MC Spook from Eldoret who he made all the beats.
Yeah.
I think Spook is also a brilliant producer, and especially when it comes to sampling.
Mm.
Especially when it comes to sampling. Because myself, I love sample beats because it kind of brings breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a breath of fresh air because these vintage tracks, there's that element of nostalgia,
Yeah.
and now you infuse it with the modern elements that are currently in
Yes.
play, and
Yes.
it brings out something beautiful out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's one style that
Yeah.
I've
So
heavily borrowed from, and
yeah.
hip hop especially does that. And you can see like
Mm.
most of the producers who
Yeah.
are great samplers, Kanye West,
Yeah.
the RZA. You listen to the Wu-Tang album, like all the samples that he sampled from all those films and all this stuff, they come out intricately,
Mm-hmm.
beautifully put
Yeah.
out there. And I'll say my favorite producers, yeah, will be RZA, will be Kanye West, J
Mm-hmm.
Dilla,
Yeah.
MF2. See, all of them, they heavily sample, and the products are usually
Very, very
good
good.
stuff.
So
Yeah.
who do you look up to in the musical space? Like whom would you say that like who rapped? I mean, some people say I wanna be like Tupac, for example. Some people talk about Jay-Z. All those guys, like who do you like kind of look up to when you say I am an artist, but I want to be like so and so? Or I know you have to create your own identity, but there is that one artist whose work ethic you probably admire. His lyrics, the poetry put behind it is heavy, heavy for you.
I'll say there's a whole list, and mostly it depends on whom I'm listening to
Mm.
at the moment.
Yes.
Because, funnily enough,
Mm-hmm.
uh, of late, I don't even listen to loads of hip hop. You see, I don't listen to lots of hip hop. Yeah, because like currently, as we're speaking, there's a lot of diss tracks that's coming in and out.
Mm-hmm.
The back and forth between Drake and
Yes.
Drake,
And
uh,
Rick
Rick
Ross. Yeah.
Ross, yeah, all those kind of stuff. You see, it's Chris Brown also dropped a diss track, but I haven't really like had time to really
Yeah.
dissect them, all of them,
Yes.
because like listening to music, it needs a different ear. You don't just skim through it.
Hmm.
That's the easy line. Do you first listen to music or do you just skim through it? So I haven't really like gotten the right mind space that just to sit down and kind of just listen to it. Currently, I listen to lots of rumor right now. You see, I'm heavily, I'm heavily listening to lots of rumor.
Yeah.
Comes up with age.
Yes.
So, like right now, I will really go deep and tell like the history of rumba,
Yeah.
Wenge Musica, about Son, Jiben Piana,
Hmm.
Kofi Olomide, and his
Yeah.
Latin people.
Hmm.
I'll go even the current guys. I say Fali and Ferre, Watanabe, Fabregas.
Hmm.
So I'm so heavily into it, and most of other West African like musicians like Salif Keita,
Yeah.
Sono Jabate,
Hmm.
Fela Kuti.
Yes.
You see, so it's like I'm just everywhere. Neka,
Yeah.
Asa,
Yeah.
just everywhere. Yeah. So I won't say that solely
Hmm.
pigeonholed into hip hop, but I love hip hop to the core. Like I love hip hop. When I bought my vinyl player, the first album that I bought was Enter the 36 Chambers by Wu Tang.
Yeah.
You see,
Hmm.
so I love Wu Tang. And I say when it comes to hip hop, when it comes to like making hip hop music, I say my favorite hands down is NF Doom.
Wow.
So if I want to write, if like that guy, that guy was so shrouded in mystery that
Yeah.
even when he died, but I was like, yeah, I was totally gobsmacked. It
Yeah.
really hit me because I was heavily listening to MF2. I tell like even recently, there's this Nigerian friend that I met who was into hip hop, and I told him, "Have you listened to Doom, bro?" So
Yeah.
the moment he listened to him, he just keeps calling me, "Bro, thank you, thank you, thank you." You introduced me to the guy.
Oh.
I told him the guy died in around 2021 or something,
Yeah.
or 2020. I don't know, 2021. Yeah. So like Doom died around October or something, but it wasn't revealed until the New Year's Eve of the next year. You see, so
Hmm.
that's how for you to know MC, you need to know the MC by how he sounds, not how
Yes.
he looks.
Yes.
You see, because
Hmm.
currently hip hop is more about looks and blings and what you have in the
Yes.
videos and all those
Yeah.
kind of stuff, and it kind of watered down everything. But when
Hmm.
you get down to the brass tacks, when you are trying to dissect like
Yeah.
hip hop itself, the
Hmm.
pain game, bro. Like I have so many people who are never on the limelight. Yeah, I love Big
Yeah.
L.
Yeah.
I love Nas,
Hmm.
Jay-Z,
Yeah.
so obvious. Yeah, I
I'm a
listen to
fan of
Biggie,
I'm a fan of
Pac.
Jay Z
Those are
myself.
like people who are on.
Hmm.
Uh, those are people who are on the mainstream. See, but
Yes.
underground, I say hip hop lives on the underground. Yeah,
All right,
I say so.
and
Yeah,
I pretty much understand you when you tell me that you don't listen to hip hop as much because I was surprised when I was watching this documentary on Notorious B.I.G. It's titled "I Have a Story to Tell," and then there is a close friend of his who said that he never listened to hip hop. He didn't listen to hip hop as much. He listened to the soul music of the 80s, and
yes,
that explained
yeah,
why if you listen to Notorious B.I.G., like even the beats and how he raps, it's a bit of a rumble, and it's much more related to the music of the 80s. And now I can connect why when I listen to you, you are, there's the Lie Bobo into it, there's Nyatiti into it. And I listen to what I love what I'm listening, that you are all over with music, meaning if you want to create, for example, something that would have a Kofi Olomide kind of thing transformed into hip hop, you are in a better place to actually listen to it. But I wanted to now go to
yeah,
the Luo rap. I grew up singing along to what do we call this guy, Wikimosh, how they would bring Luo into this hip hop rap thing. I know Big Pin tried greatly, like to just try to make Luo hip hop acceptable, and it was actually acceptable. But right now, there's a way hip hop is not. We don't celebrate the underground hip hop like back in the days, because Uko Flani, for example, was something that we listened to. But you would listen from somebody from Uko Flani family, and they are not known out there, but we are listening to their tracks. But of course, we can also say our environment. Like, I grew up in Madare, and we were able to sometimes access this kind of, song. So, what is the future of Luo rap? Do you meet other artists who are trying to also rap in the Luo? Of course, I've met two on TikTok, and I've tagged you there. Like, look for this guy. So, have you met those people? Do you think we can hip hopnize the Luo, and make it accepted in the world?
Yes. It's very acceptable. One thing that's very beautiful with the Luo language is that it easily blends with English.
Yes.
You know, the moment katakida alien, kuja kakato.
Yeah.
Let me just digress a bit.
Yes.
Kuja kakato uoyo
Yeah.
in the Luo.
Yeah.
It's so easy for them to like blend in English in it, and you won't like really like see any kind of mismatch or anything. No. So mzee atakuwa anaongea Kijaluo, no biro bakoro babani mano provider and eminent provider. So it's very easy.
You can get it. Yeah.
It is very easy. Yeah, it's very easy. So I think that's the beauty of the Luo language. I don't think some of the languages that can easily blend in with English design, the Luo in a blending in English. Amata Kiswahili.
Yeah.
So I feel that there has been a surge of Luo rappers who have been mushrooming around, and some of them are actually very dope.
Yeah.
See, some of them are actually very dope. I say that this dude, Ochingli the Goat.
Yeah.
So the moment I heard that track, called Aseri Disco Matanga, Ameleta Yakendo Nyiri Mokoranga, Awoka Biga Madonjaka. Alafu nigga moro luwa gio panga. Hey, other bro. Bro, this is the shit.
Yeah.
This is it. Like, this guy, he hit the bullseye with it, you see?
Yes.
And this other dude called Zilla.
Yeah.
Bungu, hey, bungu, lemodake bungu. Like, you listen to Zilla, and Zilla, he raps into Luo, but he mixes it with English, and it just comes out flawlessly. And there was this guy, Japesa. I'll give mad props. I'll give mad props to Japesa, because Japesa used to rap to the Luo rap, man. You see, back then.
Yeah.
Very nice. Vioxy Day. Yeah. And like, I say too, I think and between Rose, there's this small girl, Kisumu, so I just think that I think we are headed somewhere. So the moment we can get to like have some kuna nani MC Sharon, bro.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes.
And there's this brother called Omondi Chuka. A great source of inspiration. There's this album that he had. It's called Hem Koyiko. I think I had the album back in 2016 or 2017 or something.
Okay.
And that was the best poetry in Luo nishaisikia. Unacheki?
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest, there are people who can rap in Luo, but they'll just be throwing words like in the Luo. Is it poetically viable? No.
Yeah.
Aesthetically, ukisikia, is it nice? Sawa. But there are people who are now poets with the pen. Unacheki? Unajua kidaluo, people like, if you want to rap in the Luo, you have to be poetic with it.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, because in Luo tuko na misemo, tuko na hizo nini zote.
Yeah, it's rich actually.
Tukuru
It's a very rich
Pondala.
Yeah,
it's very rich. Koki Pondala or Kenyal Gide. That you just be saying sick stuff.
You just be rhyming.
You just be rhyming words, and it's like,
All right.
So yeah.
Okay. So I just wanted to get like a parting shot, but in this parting shot, I want you to talk about what's coming up, like in the next 3 minutes. Lord Vicus is
Mhm.
out. What are we expecting in Lord Vicus? I know maybe some people have sampled, listened to it. So what's
Mhm.
there as your parting shot? What's coming up with the Lord Vicus album?
Well, Lord Vicus, I gave it the name Lord Vicus out of respect to one Messias called Ondeto.
Hmm.
So Ondeto has so many monikers, you see. So
Yeah.
Ondeto kana mingi. Lord Vicus, Santa Loride, Enure, Manuel Camanuel,
Hmm.
Baba, Simeo,
Yeah.
Melchio, Ondeto. So all of this stuff. Check it. So
Yeah.
I liked the name Lord Vicus.
Mm.
So back then, mimi hata kama if you have been following me on social media,
Yeah.
I do use hashtags, and those
Yeah.
hashtags
Lord
are usually
Vicus.
like premonitions
Yes.
of
Yes.
what's coming or what's
Yeah.
gonna happen. So there was this time, I even changed my name to Lord
Lord
Vicus
Vicus. Yeah.
for a reason because that's when I was working on that album. So
Mm.
the album is adherent, but I love religion because it's African religion,
Hmm.
no, no.
Yeah.
And from where I come from in Uganda,
Yeah.
the legend like Winja.
Yeah.
So we know that the chants, why I like legend is that it's very musical. Yeah, no, the legend Kalemo,
Yeah.
you
I know about that. Yes. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. They
you
sing.
yeah.
It's a
So
word. Yeah.
it's very musical. So that's why it was like me paying homage
Hmm.
to them. And I know that's why I gave the album the name Ludwicus.
Yeah.
But the album I think, first,
Hmm.
is my first project I did,
Hmm.
and my friends were considered is a magnum opus.
Hmm.
Just to pump my ego for a minute, but I think it's beautifully done also because all of these tracks that I've done, I've just done them with my friends. I don't have like a major feature with
Yeah.
like a blown up artist or
Hmm.
anything. All
Yeah.
these people are just people that we are doing poetry with, you see.
Mm.
So it's also it has both Sheng, Swahili, English,
Hmm.
but majority of the tracks are done in Luo.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
done in Luo. So it's hip
Mm.
hop, heavily sampled.
Yeah.
Yeah, the moment I think let's give it a fortnight. It should be out. Let me just see how I
Mm.
can put two and two together. Then it
All
will be
right.
out.
Okay.
And again, uh, in things to come,
Hmm.
I have I'm
Hmm.
writing, and I have friends now
Yeah.
who are reaching out and telling me that I have this track and you drop in a verse, I have this track, you drop in a verse. I think also TikTok
Yeah.
has also like tried to put me on that kind of
Okay.
light, so people know that okay.
All
So
right.
this guy, besides doing all this musical stuff, can also
Hmm.
rap. So I've had people send me like tracks,
Hmm.
uh, and these are people who I really love their music. One of them is Nyasanje. I can't
Hmm.
say Nyasanje. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name correctly.
Okay.
Nyasanje is very nice.
Mm.
MC Sharon. So
Yeah.
these are people who
Have already worked with.
looking to work with. That
Okay.
would be Nyasanje, MC Sharon, the Ochingli guy,
Hmm.
Okelo Max,
Yeah.
Costa.
Mm.
You
Costa
say.
John. Yeah.
So these are people that I'm looking forward to collaborate with. And
Okay.
again, there's another project by this guy. He's based in the UK, but he's working on unifying the Luos
Mm.
across all the countries in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Sudan. No, no.
Yeah.
So he has this project. So he roped me in because
Hmm.
like the Luo, our
Yeah.
base, we have a very huge base.
Hmm.
So if you can like get to collaborate with like the other Luos in Ethiopia, in Uganda, so it kind of broadens the fan base. They rap in Acholi, an Acholic sound. Yeah,
Actually, yeah.
those
Yeah.
small those dialects
Mm.
flew there.
Okay.
It's very musical because if you are Luo, utasikia the flow. Yeah,
Yes.
utasikia the flow. Unasema, yes, I like this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Luo rap has a very, very bright future.
So, Jokes, unfortunately, time is cutting us short, but I know
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna do another interview just to focus on the Lord Vicus now as an album. I'm waiting to
Mhm.
listen to it and then from there. So thank you so much for creating your time to be here. I know this is a conversation that will be ongoing. Big up, man.
Thank you, bro. The pleasure is all mine. Thank you all for having me here.
Thank you.
Much thanks to your team there. You
All right.
work tirelessly. I've seen that. So
Okay.
just pass my gratitude to them.
Thanks, man. All right. So that was my conversation with Juogi the Juogs, or we call him Weda Weda. Of course, his name has evolved over and over. And we are talking Luo music, underground hip hop, Luo hip hop. And we are hoping that we can continue with these conversations going forward. Until we meet next time, sayonara.